Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
It's the last race of the 2021A Elite Racing League IndyCar Series race tonight. The Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series, the Go FMX Com 500. We're in the final minute or so of qualifying at Worldwide Technologies Raceway, the virtual version just outside of St. Louis. Good evening, everyone. Mark Gillespie and Michael Goodman along with you for the action tonight. Henry Bennett has already wrapped up our series championship, but we have several drivers within 20 points of second place, and the entire field is racing for second place tonight. You see our standings right now. Victor Del Porto, Alex Van de Sant, Caleb Bensi, Chad Frankenfield, Adriano Pinheiro, all within 20 points, actually 18 points of each other. And Andrew Marquez just a few points behind them, along with Nick DeGroot and Brian Blauman. So it really is anybody's race tonight. Michael, what can we expect to see here at Worldwide Technologies?
Well, this is a very tricky track. It's, the flat Darlington-esque type a speedway here. And going through turns 1 and 2, it can get pretty tight. You got to do some downshifting. And I know from experience, I attempted this race last season as a season finale, and it is not easy at all. One quick note, I was surprised, speaking of that battle for second place, Mark, is that Alexander Van de Sant is not in the field here, I do not believe, tonight. So I guess one less soldier there battling it out for second place. But I think we're going to see some good racing, though, and I'm curious to see how tight it will get into going into turn 1 on lap 1.
Okay, and we'll need to see the just between the two of us. I'll need to see the overlays for the scoring on the left side of the screen, just to be able to read everything. If we can get that pulled up, there you see our starting lineup.
Yeah, you got Isaac Morris on the pole. I believe he's a newer driver. He's not a total
This is his first race of the season. This is his first race of the season, along with Eric Troiano.
Wow, yeah, so some newcomers are getting up there. All for Isaac, getting up front on the pole. Henry Bennett are, again, the guy who, I think these are jumbled up. I'm sorry. Here we go. On the pole is Adriano
Pinheiro on the pole.
Yeah, there we go. And then Blom, and he's always fast. He's starting alongside. So, and then behind him, Tyler Fode and Andrew Marquez. Then Brendan Bandonia in 5th, and Chad Frankenfield will start in 6th. AJ Musselman in 7th, and Simon Sykes in 8th.
And just between the two of us, I am getting a very blurry screen here for the results. I'm not sure if there's anything we can do about that, but I cannot see any of the text.
So might be.
And I did clean my glasses ahead of time.
I was going to make a joke, but I guess I'll leave that one out here. And I'm not sure
if
there's anything I could do at the moment, but I'll try to help get you through the smaller text stuff. Can you read that side vertical ticker? Is that better for you?
I can barely read it. I can barely read either of them. The fun of technology here.
Oh, yeah. I can try to make it a little bit bigger, but I kind of making this screen.
It's not the biggest part. It's the sharpest part. It's the sharpness that we need to see.
The sharpness. That's
it's all blurred. Yeah. And the grid is pulling away right now, led by Pinheiro.
Pinheiro leading him off the grid here, and then rounding out the field. You see there on the screen, Tom Holland bringing up the rear. Actually, Ethan Reisner, some of these guys not taking laps in qualifying. So we'll see how the field will sort out here as Pinheiro again on the pole, leading him to the green flag here. 500 miles here tonight, so it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a tricky one, and with how tough this track can get, I believe it's gonna be a test of true iron will here tonight.
We'll be doing 248 laps here at Virtual Worldwide Technologies Raceway, what a lot of folks know as Gateway. Our sponsors, of course, the folks at Richmar Florists and C2 Freight Resources, and we want to thank them for their support all season long. As we come down to the green flag, the pace car is off. I believe if things go as usual, we'll have one more lap under green. And we'll watch the fun. And nope, we're going to go straight ahead to green as Adriano Pinheiro takes the green flag and heads right down into turn 1.
Yeah, he's got a big jump over Blomman as Fode's giving him all he can handle. Right alongside, as you see this battle for second place right off the bat, but jumping out to about a half-second lead really quick is Pinheiro. So he's got a good jump on the field so far.
As we come down to a complete lap number 1, it's Pinheiro, Blauman, Fode, Andrew Marquez, Brendan Madonia, and Chad Frankenfield round out your top 6.
You see up front here. Are you getting a copy from me, Mark, here? I don't know if we're having some communication issues.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Sometimes my computer doesn't. Sometimes my computer gets a little iffy, so I'm just making sure things are going smooth here. Trying to do the best I can here behind the. Not
a problem, Goody. I get it. I just I will do the best I can with what we have available to us tonight.
Yeah, but hopefully we get some good racing here so far tonight. But it looks like Pinheiro, he's got it figured out in the early going. Is he's got a 1.2 second lead over Brian Blomman, and he was able to kind of get ahead of Tyler Fode now by a couple car lengths, as you see there. So as of right now, things are kind of single filing out, and looks like nothing crazy going on so far.
Trying to adjust resolutions here just to see if I can see this a little bit better for some reason. Nope. As long as Pinero's leading, I know he's in the lead, but Blauman and Tyler Fode round out your top three.
And Marquez is still holding on to fourth as you see him there. Chad Frankenfield will round out your top five. But up front, Pinero just kind of cruising away with this so far. So easy does it, and sailing away. Although that lead's closing, I guess, a little bit. Blauman's able to catch up to about 1.1 seconds, now under a second. So closing in pretty quick after Pinero jumped out to a big lead.
Back up to about 1.2 seconds now behind Pinero.
See, I'm going to try one more thing, see if we can get this smoothed out here. I'm going to have to, maybe I can do this. Stream quality. Oh, look at this. Maybe I could do that. No. Okay, I can't do that because I have to subscribe to something. I was gonna try to do it in 1020 or 1080 to try to get a little bit better, but apparently Discord makes you have to be a member to do that. So might be a little bit of a struggle here tonight, but hopefully we'll get through this the best we can here in the GoFMX.com 500. Lap 8 of 248. Already in the books, actually coming to lap 9 now as Pinero leads this lap.
Once again, we want to thank our sponsors at C2 Freight Resources and Richmar Florists for their support all season long, along with Mega Driver 86. And I've been messing that up all season long, and I apologize to the folks at Mega Driver 86 because I keep messing that up all the time, and it should be Mega Driver 86. I keep calling him Mega Player 86, but we should point out our series champion already this year and defending champion, Indy 500 winner, and overall good guy, Henry Bennett, is running in 8th place tonight, just a couple of seconds back of the field. Basically, he can coast tonight and still win the championship. No matter what happens, he could finish dead last tonight and still take home the title. And you're watching him right now in the 0-1. We're in the number 1 car, that green car we've seen all season long up in front.
Yeah, he's been dominating about anything you can here in the IndyCar Series. And again, won the championship last year, 2 in a row for him. It's got to be an awesome feat. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's cruising around now, but I'm pretty sure he wants to close the season out with the win, go out with a big bang here. But a long way to go to do it too.
We are up to lap number 12 now as Henry Bennett crosses the line. Pinero still up by about a little over a second over Brian Blauman. Any idea what the fuel windows are going to be tonight?
I should have did more research on the fuel windows. I did not get a chance to figure that one out, but we'll have to kind of keep a note when they first start diving down pit road. Yeah, we'll have to find that out. I guess we'll find that out together here tonight.
Okay, let's watch the fun. We're still tracking Henry Bennett.
Going back up here to Pinero.
Okay. Pinero just running really smoothly tonight. Has not turned a wheel wrong all race long so far. It's nice to have that nice clean air out in front.
Yeah, he's kind of rubber banded that lead to about that right around a second to 1.3 seconds. So yeah, just running very smooth, doing what he needs to, and maybe saving a little bit of fuel, a little bit of those tires for the longer run, and see if we can stretch this out. You know, when you're in the catbird seat as you are as when you're leading, it's always a good thing to do.
We have a car in the pits. I cannot tell who it is.
I think. Oh, is that Alec Balvez is in pit road, so I don't know. Looks like he's getting his service completed, and he has scored 20th currently, 1 lap down. There's already 3 cars out of the race. That's Charles Teed, Dustin Dewar, and James Rowe, and count Alec as one of the guys out of the race here as well. parking it for the night, but there's still 19 cars on the lead lap. And 19 cars, I guess, still running in the field here tonight. So, again...
Yeah, we're still waiting for Pinheiro to catch up to the back end of the field.
Oh, they do have...
We have a yellow flag now.
Flag.
What's happened?
Let's see if we can find out what happened here. Gotta see if we can find... I don't think it was Billy Lyons here. He was going down. Oh, yep, he was going down pit road, but he did have some trouble here. So we'll check that out. It was coming out of turn 2. Let's get this back going here. So right out of the corner, snap loose on him, and just making contact. Was able to get it back going again, but it was enough to bring out the yellow here on lap 17 of 2:48. So early, it looks like he has a little bit of wing damage, but I think they can replace that, and he should be able to get back out there and going.
We want to thank the folks at iRace Online for sponsoring our replays all season long as well.
Yeah, they've been good sponsors. Sponsored all the series for the replays. Fun to have them along board here as well. But a couple cars. Oh, here we get back going here. Looks like 2 cars chose not to pit under that yellow, or I don't know if maybe my scoring might be messed up here. Because I don't think it shows.
Jari Brubaker is in the lead right now, followed by Nick DeGroot. Everyone else went into the pits.
Oh, yeah, now it's showing that they pitted. Okay, that's where I was getting confused. Yeah, everyone elected to come down pit road, besides Jari and Nick, who are leading the field right now, and it does look like Pinheiro, out of the guys that were running up front before, he did win the race off pit road. So for the most part, everyone behind him kind of stayed the same, but just mark up Jari and Nick up to the front. The 88 and 89 up front here.
Now, Nick DeGroot is one of those drivers who could make a run for second place in the season standings tonight, because he is in 8th place right now. Basically about, let's see, got to do the real quick math here, about 20 points, 28 points or so. 28 points out of second place. But with a win tonight, Nick, depending on where drivers like Victor Del Porto, Caleb Bensi, and Chad Frankenfield wind up, along with Pinheiro, Nick DeGroot could pull out a second place finish tonight in the season standings. So we're going to want to watch and see how he does. Yeah. Jari Brubaker trying to warm up his tires. He is farther back in the season standings. He's currently shown as 16th in the season standings right now, but he obviously would love to get a nice finish tonight as well.
Yeah, I always like how Nick DeGroot races too. He's not the few races that I've ran in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. He doesn't always have the same speed that the leaders have, because sometimes they're very good. They're checking out, but he's always pretty good at his strategies, and he's always there at the right time at the end of the race. So I'm sure whatever Nick DeGroot's planning with this strategy here, it's more than likely going to pay off for him here, and I expect to see him at least up front and having a pretty good chance at getting that second place in points. But the guy
like DeGroot's getting ready to come down pit road now too. He's already entered the pit apron.
Oh yeah, so maybe getting a couple extra laps, starting in the back, maybe staying out of trouble here. But Jari will stay out on track, and I think probably next time by get the 1 to go signal. See if the pace car lights do go off when they cross the line.
Goody, do we have access to the data feed on this system that shows pit stops and all that other fun stuff?
Let's see if I do.
If we can do it without crashing the entire thing. We are working with a new production system tonight as well, so
I do have it on my end. I don't know if I can get it on your screen as far as the races out pit road. Usually sometimes they do have it, but not on this one. Which is
don't worry about it, then we'll work off of this.
Yeah, all right. But one thing I was going to mention earlier, talking about that second place battle for the battle for second place in points, Victor Del Porto, who was in a tie going into tonight with Alexander Van de Sant for second place. He's currently running in 14th, but he finished second place in the points last season, so I'm sure he probably wants to win a championship, but obviously that's already done and over with. So for him to try to see if he can get back into that second place spot 2 years in a row, I think that'd be a pretty good feat for Victor. Let's see if he can get it done tonight, but he's got some ways to go. But we're back going green flag racing here as, but now we're doing that one more pace lap. That's where it got me.
Okay.
Now we're doing the...
And Van de Sant not in the race tonight, that gives Del Porto a chance to a better shot at holding on to second with a good finish tonight.
That kind of locks even more of those guys that were chasing on their heels as well, like DeGroot, Frankenfield, and the others that were battling for that spot. But I think Van de Sant, now I'm sure maybe he had something going on here, but he's usually a guy to run in the top 5 every week here in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. But now we're going to be ready to go green for real this time, as they did the one lap to warm up their tires. And off they go. Yari's going to take the lead, get into a pretty good jump.
And
now
Ripker dives down into turn 1 with Pinheiro right behind him.
Yeah, and he's holding about a 0.4 of a second lead off the jump. So Pinheiro, he had a
This
real
is going to be a
good
short-lived lead, though.
Yeah, it might be. With the staying
it's going to be a short-lived lead because at some point Yari's going to have to pit.
Yeah.
We know that he's the only driver on the track who has not pitted yet. So he's going to hold on to this one as long as he can, but he is going to have to come down at some point here quickly.
He might be our guinea pig to see what the fuel run is, because with these guys pitting a little bit earlier with that caution coming out, he might give us a true test of around how many laps are going to be on a fuel run here. Which I would say he's got to be close to about halfway on fuel here. But that's me totally guesstimating. But we'll see how this plays out. As here comes Pinheiro on the inside, battling for the lead.
And Pinheiro's going to take the lead heading down into turn 3.
And right behind him, Tyler Fode's putting a fight in here too, trying to get into that second position.
Ripper taking a low line, trying to stay out of Fode's way, heading down the back stretch. As they come down, let's see if he's weaving around, trying to block Tyler Fode now.
Fode, see if he
this
gets
is going to be interesting.
See if we get that run off the outside, and he does. So put Fode into second place. And looks like the rest of the field kind of behind them, single filed out. Don't see too many crazy battles at the moment, but Pinheiro retaking the lead. And I would say Yari led probably about, with the caution laps, probably about 5 or 6 laps, but for the most part, it's been all Pinheiro.
And Pinheiro stretching that lead out now to more than a second over Tyler Fode, or to right at about a second.
It's getting pretty close, here to a second. Just a little under a second right now. I think it's 0.8. Kind of Fode's rubber banding it a little bit here, trying to hang on. But Adriano holding just a pretty wheel here tonight. Able to stay up front.
This has been a really good season for Tyler Fode. Keep in mind that he had not raced much in the IndyCar Series. He'd done a lot of stuff in trucks and the Stock Car Series on the Elite Racing League, and this is his first season in a number of years running the IndyCar schedule. Not quite a rookie, but if he would certainly be in line for Rookie of the Year honors with his performance so far.
Yeah, he's been fast pretty much every week in, week out here in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. He's had some bad luck on some of these nights too that probably would have been right in the top 5, but every week Tyler Fode showing some speed, and right now trying to close that gap on Pinheiro, but he's little over a half a second back now, but it's kind of maintaining that distance from first to second. See if he can close in here, as we are on lap 30 of 248, so still early on in the going here. Behind them, you do have Brian Blahman and kind of a pack. Yari's kind of fallen back into the 4th spot. Chad Frankenfield right behind him. Looks like Yari's and Chad's cars are painted very similarly. That was kind of confusing there, right at that angle there.
Of course, the real Indy cars will be running at the real Worldwide Technologies Raceway on August 21st as part of the NTT IndyCar Series. They are running this weekend in Detroit at the Detroit Grand Prix, the duels in Detroit. The races both tomorrow and Sunday. You can catch those on NBC. We hope you'll support the Real World Series as well as supporting the racers who are driving here in the Elite Racing League.
Yeah, I've been to the Belle Isle track there a number of years ago. It's a very fun race to watch. So if you're in that area, I do recommend checking that out. As Chad Frankenfield moves up into the 4th spot, Yari's going to try to battle on the inside, see if we can get that spot back. But don't look now. Simon Sykes trying to make a move on Yari on the outside. Looks like he'll be able to do so. So put Simon Sykes up into the 5th position. And don't look now, there's our champion, Henry Bennett. He's working his way up. I think he restarted around the 9th, 10th position. He's worked his way up to 7th right now, looking to go for 6th.
And let's watch the fun as Henry Bennett goes after Jari Brubaker now. And we'll probably make quick work of him coming down the backstretch here, heading into turn 3.
I think Jari might have
Let's watch. Here comes Bennett on the inside, and he'll clear Jari Brubaker. Andrew Marquez comes along for the ride.
I think Jari might have made some contact with the wall there as he's dropping back now. So he did get to lead a few laps.
Well, he also hasn't pitted yet.
He hasn't pitted yet, so maybe his car's fading away. But I thought I might have saw some sparks that last lap coming out of 2.
Yeah.
And it looks like maybe having a handful. Maybe the empty fuel tank
His
making
tires,
that car
his tires
loose.
are gone.
Yeah, it's just
His tires are shot.
as he's fading now, he's out of the top 10. Falling all the way back now into the 12th position, maybe even more here. So he might need to hit pit road pretty quickly here, Mark, and otherwise he might be losing a lot of time.
Down.
Yeah, now falling back to 13th. And the next guy looking to see if he can get by him is the 11 in 14th of Matthew Weeks, and he will do so. I think he'll have a little bit of breathing room behind.
And Weeks clears him there. Let's watch and see if Brubaker comes down this time by.
Yeah, I think he's got that gap now. He's got about a 2.5 second gap to Nick DeGroot, who did make that pit stop after staying out for a couple laps under caution. I think that's the lap car behind him that you see on the screen of Richard Lyons. He's currently scored 19th, 1 lap down. Jari staying out so far. But back up front, Pinero still holding on to that right around a 7/10 of a second lead over Tyler Fode. So he hasn't really pulled away, Mark, but I guess Fode hasn't really closed the gap either.
They can basically hang on like this as long as Fode stays within striking distance. We've got a long way to go. 248 laps in this race tonight. Basically, as long as Tyler stays within striking distance of Pinero, he doesn't have to make that move just yet. He can sit back and wait for them to catch up to lapped traffic, and we'll wait and see if Pinero makes a mistake in lapped traffic.
Lap traffic, even green flag pit stops if we do get a good long green flag run in here as well, which right now shaping up to be maybe the case. As we've been green now for a number of laps here, about getting close to 20 laps of green flag racing since they made that last restart.
Let's watch the fun here. As
As
they come down, Brubaker still has yet to pit, and we're up to lap 40 now.
Yeah, we're in lap 40. Let's see, he's currently still on track. Now Jack DeGroot gonna make a pass on him. So he's going to fall all the way back to 16th and still has not made that pit stop yet. So yeah, 40 laps. I'm wondering if he's got to be getting close. I would say roughly within 10 laps would be kind of my guess that he'd have to pit. As he's going to lose another
He's falling
spot.
even farther back now.
Yeah, the 31 of Tom Holland is going to take over 16. So he's going to drop all the way back to the tail end of the lead lap cars here. So he might even be in danger of going a lap down by the time he might make his pit stop, because he is right now the second to last car on the lead lap in 17th. So yeah, he has.
Watch and see where Joe McAdory is.
McAdory, let's see,
He's in that red and white car right behind him, I believe.
I think that's the 10 yet of Billy Lyons.
Okay.
McAdory, he is back in 18th. He is roughly 8 seconds behind Yari yet, so there's still some time where maybe Yari can kind of regroup and see if he can stretch out this run here a little bit longer. But it seems like he's in desperate need of coming down pit road.
Let's keep an eye on Yari here, because I have a sneaking suspicion that those tires are shot, and he is going to be a problem at some point here if he doesn't get into the pits real soon.
Yeah, and we just seen McAdory. He was almost going to lose a lap to our leader, Pinero. I think he's probably going to go a lap down, and McAdory is closing in on Yari. He's down. He closed in a second since the last time we brought that up a few laps ago. So his leaders are going to be catching Yari here pretty quick. And you can just see him coming off the corner mark. Just the car just looks a little upset coming out of these corners.
It looks like he's got some oversteer, because the back end is just pushing out every time he comes out of a corner.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got the light fuel load. He's probably running lower on fuel. Tires worn out. His pit crew might be screaming for him right now to head down pit road, but he
almost lost it there.
Yeah, he's soldiering on yet. I'll give him that, and he's actually pulled that gap away from Joe, which I don't know if Joe's kind of maybe battling with he is a lap down, so maybe surrendering the track to Pinero and Foti as they got around him.
Joe's maybe trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
And being respectful, because there are drivers. Like we said, Henry Bennett has got the championship locked up, but there are still a lot of points and a lot of pride on the at stake tonight for the rest of these drivers on the grid.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line for second place. Still going to be a fun battle to see how this unfolds. We might have to put some mathematical thinking caps on to see if we can figure out who does get that second place in points by the end of the night. And I am still shocked that Yari is staying out. Every lap's kind of getting more surprising, Mark.
This is getting more and more interesting as we go on, because you just know something's about to happen. We don't know where, we don't know when, but you just get this feeling that there's about to be something happening here, and it's going to involve Jari Brubaker, just because that car the tires are bald, they're shot, the fuel load is low. Something is about to happen here.
Yeah, speaking of something about to happen, Tyler Foti, he's closing in on our leader here. He's maybe trying to make a run here. So up front, Pinero's still holding on to the lead, but that lead is shrunken down to about 0.2 of a second, as you see right there. So now he's really within striking distance. And, if they're catching up to Yari here as well, just talking about him staying out on pit road, if these two guys get in a battle and they catch Yari at a bad time, this could get I think we might have just seen Yari pitting right now. Coming down pit road. So he's finally getting his service on lap 51. So
we know how far they can go, not how far they should go.
Yeah, so roughly about 50 laps. It's probably always easier to stretch your fuel out on 50 laps with your old tires, low fuel, when everyone else is kind of doing it, so you're not losing that much track position. But when you were kind of the only one out there doing so, it was pretty rough there for Yari.
So he will almost certainly go a lap down here as he's still in the pits. And he'll go one lap down as the leaders flash by, heading into turn 1.
And then Billy Lyons goes off course again. And that 10 car looks like almost identical spot where he lost control before. Let's see if we can maybe look at that real quick.
We are staying green.
We're staying green flag racing here, just trying to see what exactly
Since
happened.
Lyons was able to get the car back under control and get it back onto the track, there's no reason to go for a yellow right now.
Yeah, he didn't lose
Let's
it too
watch
bad.
the replay from Ira.
Oh, just got a little loose and snapped on him. Able to keep it off the wall this time. Go back to the live feed here.
And as you saw, the leaders just flashed right by him there. And had he been out in the middle of the track, that could have been really bad for Pinheiro and Foti.
Yeah, that could have been very ugly. You still see the smoke hovering over the track as they exit turn 2. It's always a little nerve-wracking because these cars are they're fast, but they're fragile, and it doesn't take a whole lot to knock yourself out of the race. And so far, luckily for even Richard Lyons and our leaders too, that everyone's able to keep on rolling, and we stay under green as we are now on lap 56 of 248.
You're watching the Go FMX Com 500 right now on the Elite Racing channel from the Elite Racing League and the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. We do want to thank our sponsors at FMX, a leading provider of facilities and maintenance management solutions that help organizations accelerate their operational excellence. Their CMMS software enables you to streamline your processes, increase your asset productivity, and turn actionable insights into meaningful results. You can find out more at gofmx.com.
As we're coming to lap 58 of 248, Pinheiro leading most of the laps here tonight besides Yari, who did stay out. He is now 2 laps down, being scored in 19th. But Pinheiro has been dominating this race so far, but I think, maybe touching the wall there, trying to lose the draft of Tyler Foti. But Foti, I think, has something to say about maybe leading a few laps. I know Foti does like to lead, but he also does drive smart here too. So maybe going to wait until they have to make pit stops and see if he can beat Pinheiro off pit road.
And, of course, running in second place, you do get the benefit of the arrow pulling you along a little bit so he can save a little bit of fuel here and let Pinheiro do all the work as he pulls right up under the wing.
Yeah, he's there to get a lot of the benefits of the draft, of the slipstream there, the airstream, and hopefully, doesn't get too much of a push coming out of these corners because, again, that turn 2, that's where the calamity can strike. We've seen Richard Lyons having some trouble, 2 times out of that corner, and that could be where if we do see some problems at some point tonight, I'm going to guess that's where it's going to happen.
Adriano Pinheiro remains your leader. Just ahead of Tyler Foti, Brian Blauman is in 3rd, Chad Frankenfield 4th. Simon Sykes is in 5th, and our champion, Henry Bennett in the 1 car, is in 6th place right now.
We'll go back and check. I think he's kind of leading a train of cars here. He's leading Isaac Morris in the 62, in the 87 right behind them. In 8th is Andrew Marquez. And then Victor Del Porto, the guy battling for 2nd place as well, he's back in 9th. So they're all kind of just riding along here, I think, waiting for pit stops. Now I think they're catching Simon Sykes here as well. So they got the train going on here.
I think this is Isaac Norris's debut in the series this year as well. He has not raced in the series until this point this season.
Driving a very smart, clean race here so far, battling in the top 10. In fact, now as they get by Simon Sykes, move him up into the 6th spot, but he wants more. He wants to be in that top 5.
It may be to Henry Bennett's advantage just to let him go.
Yep, I think Henry Bennett, he's not the champion for nothing. He's he's going to be smart. I think with his race strategy, and he'll have some speed at the end. Right now, these guys are roughly almost 13 seconds behind the leader, which is now actually Tyler Fode, as they're side by side for the lead up here.
And Fode pulls ahead.
See if he can make it stick.
It's neck and neck coming down to 4. They're coming down the main stretch. It's a drag race. It's Fode just barely at the line. Diving down into turn 1, he'll take a slight advantage over Pinheiro, who's taking that high line. Fode now clears Pinheiro, leading down the backstretch.
Yeah, Pinheiro did not go easily into the night. He was trying to battle on that outside, but just couldn't make it stick as Tyler Fode takes the lead. As now we hit lap 66 of 248. These laps ticking off relatively quickly here.
But we should be seeing pit stops fairly soon, I would assume. We're about 40 laps into this stint.
Since
the last yellow.
I was thinking the same thing. We got to be getting close. Definitely within, I would say, 5 to 10 laps with a lot of these guys coming down pit road.
I mean, we know from Yari that they can do 50 laps under green flag racing, but I don't know if they really want to get to lap 70 or so.
Yeah, we've seen how much of a struggle it can be to handle these cars on that long of a run. So we might see some guys maybe even short pitting. I know Chad Frankenfield in 4th. He's always a guy who likes to try to short pit and get the advantage. Let's see if that will.
Cody's starting to work through the lapped traffic right now, building up a nice lead of a little over a second over Pinheiro.
And we do have some cars heading down pit road as well. I believe some takers were Simon Sykes, and I thought I saw Isaac Morris on pit road as well.
Isaac is in the pits.
So Fode now stretching.
Fode continues to work his way through.
And he's doing a very good job working his way through traffic. He's pulled away from Pinheiro by he's 1.3 seconds already. So Fode masterfully working through this lap traffic.
More important than that 1.3 seconds, there are 2 lapped cars in between Fode and Pinheiro, so that gives him the ability to stretch that out even more. And he's going for even more, heading down and looking at more lapped traffic.
Yeah, he was looking
now
more
Pinheiro has cleared those 2 cars.
Yeah, he was having a little issues there. It went from 1.3 seconds to 1.9 in a quick hurry. I was wondering if he was getting held up, but now we're going to see Fode see if he can battle. Like, those are some of the cars that I believe that's Simon Sykes ahead of him. And then we see Fode head down pit road.
So Fode will be the first of the leaders to pit. Brian Blauman's also in the pits. Frankenfield is in the pits. That puts Pinheiro back into the lead on lap 70.
So he'll stay out. Andrew Marquez looks like he's staying out. Victor Del Porto is in 3rd. He has not pitted. He just passed Tyler Fode there. Now moves him into 2nd as Fode's still getting his service done.
Weeks now in 3rd. Eric Troiano. Peter Dempsey, we haven't called his name tonight, one of the real-world racers in the series. He's up to 5th now. A.J. Musselman in 6th. Fode remains in 7th, along with Marquez, who's in the pits now.
And we do have a caution.
Brendan Madonia is in 9, and let's find out what happened.
Let's see if we can figure out what brought out that latest yellow there. So let's see.
Now that's going to help some of the guys who got into the pits beforehand.
Ooh, that might have been our champion, Henry Bennett, that was involved in the wreck here. Let's see if we can get it going here. Oh, hitting the wrong. Oh, yeah, he did. I think. Oh, boy. So hold on here. We'll get this up and going. This starts ahead of him. It was actually the 88 involved. Yari did get. Oops.
Let's hold off the play-by-play until we get past the screen here and we can actually see it.
Can we see it? Yeah. So all right.
Let's watch now. There's Brubaker in the black car, yellow rims.
Oh.
Whoa.
Spins out and then he backs right.
And he clips. Oh, and he slides up the track and clips Henry Bennett.
Yep. Getting involved, ending, I believe Yari's day might be done. Oh, he's able to get the car going. But I believe Henry Bennett, he's going to park his car, and his day's more likely going to be over. But again, not a lot on stake for him, so he'll still be able to win that championship. But I'm sure not quite the way he wanted to end his season.
And we should point out, Henry is based in the UK, 5 hours ahead of East Coast time, so about 15 in the morning. But Henry can get some tonight.
Yeah.
Knowing it's already wrapped championship.
Yeah, I think, maybe rest up, or maybe celebrate. It depends on what he wants to do here. But Eric Triano is going to get on pit road. He took over the lead by staying out, kind of getting a lucky break with the caution, not getting trapped a lap down, as it looks like a lot of drivers did. I believe, I'm not sure if Del Porto, he is currently on pit road as well in 9th, but a lot of the guys that were battling right in that top 5, top 10.
You're up. You're loading your system.
Oh, is it something going on here?
Good, you're loading your system a little. You are on the audio and.
Oh yeah, the audio. I think we're having some.
Yeah, you loading your system here.
Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, Hold on, we're gonna see if we can get through this here. We'll take a quick break, and we'll get back to the action here in just 1 second.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day. From weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
We're back on hopefully no more issues here. A little bit of connection issues on my end, but looks like we're smooth for now. Knock on wood. As we are under caution.
Adriano Pinheiro remains the leader. We are at about lap 75.
Yep, lap 75 of 248. And there's going to be a number of lap cars here now between Pinheiro and Brian Blauman is now in second place. I believe the cars that are 1 lap down currently are going to be 12th on back with Simon Sykes, Nick DeGroot, Tom Holland, and Victor Del Porto is stuck 1 lap down. So a lot of cars getting trapped a lap down after that kind of untimely caution right in the middle of green flag pit stops. As I thought I turned my spotter off here too, but as you hear, the green flag is back out, but they're going to take 1 more lap around, a little bit higher of a pace speed, because I think one problem they do have in this
more lap.
Yep, in this series is get a little bit more. Get that
But
pace
we are
speed up.
having more of the same problems.
More of the same issues here. Let's see. Not sure what I can...
Yes, more same issues.
Yeah, my connection does appear to be down low. So I'm a little bit overloaded here. Audio issues going on.
Let me call it for a second here, and we'll take it from this way as Adriano Pinheiro brings the field back down. Brian Blauman, Tyler Fode, Andrew Marquez, Matthew Weeks, Peter Dempsey, A.J. Messelman, Eric Triano and Chad Frankenfield, along with Isaac Morris, round out your top 10 as Pinheiro leads them down into turn 1. I think we have a couple of lapped cars in there because there is at least one lapped car in between Pinheiro and Blauman.
There's going to be one car in between Blauman, and I think that is Simon Sykes, who is the first car one lap down, currently scored in 12th position.
Admittedly, with the blurry screen I've got here at this end, I cannot read the car numbers. So we're going off what I know to be the liveries, and I know Marquez has that blue and white livery. Or Blauman, rather, has the blue and white livery. Yeah, and Tyler Fode, the orange and black. And Marquez has a different blue and white livery behind him. More blue than white.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more blue in that one. Right now, Pinheiro still holding on. He's got 1.5 second lead as looks like Blauman's going to get by that lap car of Simon Sykes. Let's see if Tyler Fode behind him follows suit.
Fode may have to wait till the next end of the backstretch to make that run. He's not quite there. Ooh. And actually, neither is Blauman. Blauman had to tuck back in.
Look like he got a little squirrely off the corner there.
Yeah. And he's going to try to make that move again and still have to back out.
Ooh. Try to get one last second to draft, and he's going to get to the inside, see if he can get that position.
And here comes Fode along with him.
Push him.
Oh, side by side, and Sykes. Okay, now we have him by. Blauman was by going into the turn. And okay, what looks Blauman get there, and Tyler, they make it.
See, I think I'm having
Fode's
audio issues.
High. And here Marquez. Well,
but back up front, our leader Pinheiro still holding a 1.8 second lead over Blauman as they try to get by that lap car of Simon Sykes. You know, Peter Dempsey's trying to get by that lap car of Simon Sykes as well.
Dempsey is past Sykes and making a move towards Marquez. We are about a third of the way through this race.
And lap 84 of 248. And Blauman now catching Pinheiro just a little bit. He's got help from Tyler Fode trying to catch up to the leader after battling, trying to get back up front. See if they can run him down.
Pinheiro remains your leader.
Still holding on to that lead. I think I'm still having some connection issues with you here, Mark. I'm hoping. Having.
Yeah.
Trying to figure stuff out.
I'm hoping it's not. I don't think it's anything at this end.
I think it's.
We've had some storms in the area. I'm not sure if that's.
I think it's on my end, poking in and out of good connection and bad connection. Just not sure what I can do to make this better. Oop. That wasn't going to do it. I accidentally hit the wrong button there. And close your stream out. So we're going to get Mark hopefully back up here soon. And I still think I'm having audio issues with him.
So we're still having problems. Not 100% sure we're going to be able to finish this race.
Yeah.
With it, because we're going to keep the stream out here every few minutes this evening.
Yeah, just having a hard time coming through. And it's trying to save resources. I think I
and
might...
Adrian Yarrow is your leader.
Yeah, just not getting through here. We'll maybe take...
Hey, we're going to have an executive decision, folks. We thank our sponsors.
I think, Mark, we can't hear you because of my connection here. So
we're going to have to make an executive decision here.
Yeah, I'm gonna think we're gonna keep the broadcast flowing here right now.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. You guys will have to watch the race on your own. We'll be back as soon as possible.
Sorry, this guy. Goody, can you hear? Okay.
I can. You're kind of in and out on me on my end here, but we're
gonna try to plug and can come back up the road at some point here.
Yeah, we'll be right back as we'll watch the action here. And we'll get hopefully back the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. Hold on 1 second. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, or I am back. I think it's more my issue, but it's kind of, I think, hurting Mark. Announcing the race here tonight, sharing the screen on Discord, all the stuff up here. My old computer not quite working out, so sorry about that. Again, we are on lap 96 of 248, and Adriano Pinheiro still holding on to the lead, but don't look now. Tyler Fode closing that gap, 0.3 of a second behind as he's charging that way up and not even having help. As we saw right before we were having mega issues that Blauman and Fode were drafting up together, but right now Fode working his way up with just a couple of car lengths behind the 12 car of Adrian Pinheiro. So far coming close to lap 100. There's been 3 cautions so far here tonight. And our championship winner, Henry Bennett, did get knocked out of the race. And he is 28 laps down. He will finish the race in 18th position. Simon Sykes, who was battling with some of these guys on that last restart, he did go down pit road and he did retire, and he's going to be scored in 17th. So currently 16 cars still running on track, with 11 on the lead lap, with the 49 of Brendan Mandonia currently scored in 11th, last car on the lead lap. So Blauman kind of holding on, Pat, to where he was when we kind of last left you, I do believe. He's about 1.8 seconds back of Foti and Pinheiro, as that battle's still kind of heating up. Ooh, looks like we might have had someone go off track there. But the green flag will stay out. I thought maybe it was the 27 of Del Porto. It appears not to be. I wonder if Richie Lyons. No, he's going to go another lap down. He's going to be 3 laps down in the 16th position. Foti gets around him as well. Again, now we are 101 laps in this 248 lap event, the GoFMX.com 500, here in the season finale of the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. And again, you are watching the Elite Racing Network. We've had some technical difficulties here tonight, and that is all on my end here. I think my Discord is just shot. I probably have to upgrade on the computer department here. I know it's probably about time to do so. But I think we're going live. Hopefully still able to hear me okay. I believe Chad was trying to even figure this out, but still going here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully things are going strong, and yeah, we are now 104 laps in. Tyler Foti kind of holding pat. We've seen him do this on the last stint, trying to maintain that gap to Adrian Pinheiro in first place. He's led most of this race here so far today. And as Mark was saying earlier on in the race, that I think Foti, for basically being a rookie, I think he's ran some official races and stuff like that on iRacing, but relatively new to be running at all these different types of tracks that we've raced at so far this season, and he's been a player every week, and currently sitting in that second position. As we might be nearing pit stops in the very near future. As we are closing in on halfway, about another 15 laps or so. Trying to do math in my head on the fly. That's not cool. Will be 124. But Foti's starting to really close that gap now. He's going to make a run. Going on at 2. Thinks the better of it. And in the meantime, that's kind of the calamity corner. It gets very tight off of turn 2. This is kind of the more sweeping corner. Again, very similar. If you're unfamiliar with the Worldwide Technology Raceway, I'd say kind of just compared to a flat Darlington, you got turns 1 and 2 here as you see our leaders go through right now. Kind of the tighter the corners, more like old Darlington, more of a layout before they flipped the track over. They made the old turn 4, the new turn, the old turn 4, turn 2, and vice versa. So you got to kind of think back, old school Darlington. Foti's going to take another peek on the inside here as well. Is able to keep going. Holding on for Pinheiro, the 0.2 of a second lead, and Blauman kind of by himself here. He is about 2.4 seconds behind these are 2 leaders, but he's kind of pulled a gap about the same distance behind him of the 4th place runner, Peter Dempsey. Probably our closest battle right now probably would be for that 4th position, to see if Marquez can get by in that 4th spot, but maybe just trying to save that fuel, as we are getting pretty close to when we'll see these guys attempt to make green flag pit stops once again, as now Marquez is going to try to go to the inside, make that move. Let's see if he can make it stick. It looks like he's sliding a little bit going into the corner. And tucks right behind Peter Dempsey as they're going to keep rolling in that 5th spot. But right now hunting him down with the side-by-side battle, and now going to be catching lap traffic. I believe that is Joe McAdory. See if he plays a factor of this battle, as well as Marquez tries to tuck down low and make a move, but unable to do so. Just can't quite get the grip out of turn 2. And now McAdory's going to let these guys go by, as now there's a couple more cars in the mix in Matthew Weeks and Chad Frankenfield. Kind of stand pat, but that battle up front for the lead. Fody is still there, still hunting down our leader, Adrian Pinheiro. Right now, not making any aggressive moves, just trying to stay in that draft. Save some fuel. It does arc it a little bit wide coming out of turn 2 there. He's going to lose a little bit of ground on Pinheiro, but he's going to close right back up. He's got that slipstream is going to suck him right back up as they exit 4. And as they hit lap 115 of 248. Pinheiro still holding on to the lead. You see, calamity can happen. We're usually right around these green flag pit stops. We'll see what unfolds here as we get closer to that time coming. You see Pinheiro trying to dodge and weave, try to lessen that draft up slipstream as much as he can. Hanging on to the lead. So Mark will not be joining us, and I apologize to him, as he's made time for us tonight to announce this GoFMX.com 500 here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. But my computer was not cooperating in the slightest. So I do apologize to Mark and everyone at home tuned in. Now you got to listen to me for the next 120 laps all by myself here. We'll try to make it fun. We'll try to make it interesting. These guys, I think these two guys right here are making it fun and interesting. But now Pinheiro pulling away to a half a second. So maybe Fody used up a little of his stuff here on this run. But just as I say that, he's closing that gap back up to 0.2 of a second. They're currently pulling away. You can see Blahman about 3 seconds back of Tyler Fody, about 3.1 seconds back of Pinheiro. So they're these two guys pulling away, working together. You know, maybe not by design, maybe not by plan to be battling like this, but certainly. Working out as far as them pulling away from the rest of the fields. You see the rest of the top 10 struggling to find pace that these two guys are having, but that pack right back there is, I think we see a battle here between Marquez and Dempsey once again. They're in that kind of conga line here for the 4th position. Dempsey able to hold off Marquez still as Marquez did get around him, but now Matthew Weeks, he's going to try to get on the inside of Marquez and get into the 6th position. Kind of a quiet night for Matthew Weeks, but he's been in the top 10 all day long, but now he's got Chad Frankenfield on the outside. See if we can get that run. And yep, just a little bit too low there for Matthew Weeks, as now he's in danger of losing a couple more spots. Actually, Victor DeGroot is a lap down, but we do see some green flag pit stops starting as we do see Marquez and Weeks go down pit road. So green flag pit stops are underway as we see a couple cars. I think Blauman was also another one to come down pit road to get some service done. That means our leaders should be coming down pit road relatively soon. We'll see how this shakes out once they come down pit road. We did see last green flag pit stop that they made, Fody was the leader. Pinero did get back up in front of him by the time the caution came out. So we know Pinero is making good time onto pit road. I believe Tyler Fody's going down the rundown lane here to come down pit road, and he will get his service done. So he'll surrender 2nd place in the meantime to get his 4 fresh tires and fuel. He's pitting on lap 125, coming to 126 when he hits the stripe. A lot of guys, Peter Dempsey behind him, going down pit road as well. So Pinero, he's hitting pit road. See if he can win that race again. But here, Eric Troiano, we've seen him lead the lap once the caution came out because he was the leader when the caution came out. So he stretched his field the longest, and he's going to do so once again. But I think it's going to be the battle. See if Tyler Fody, he just gets out on the racetrack, but he's going to be trying to catch. Oop, clicked on the wrong button there. Pinero, who's still on pit road, so this is going to be a close battle. Who can win this race off? As he's gone, leaving the pits. Let's see where Tyler Fody is. He's going to be coming into turn 1, so this is going to be close. I think Fody might get him if he hasn't gotten up to speed. He's going to be right behind him once again. And they probably ran about the same time on pit road. I'll see if I can see their pit stops on pit lane. Pinero was roughly 0.4 of a second faster, but still now he's got a 0.4 of a second lead over Tyler Fody. So that's kind of where the battle is going to play out as we see Troiano coming down pit road to get his service. That leaves one more car that didn't pit, but check that. He's on pit road now. That's AJ Musselman. So now that should cycle the lead back around to Adriano Pinero. As you see them fly by right here on screen and put them back, Pinero and Fody back up in the 1 and 2 positions. Here now as we are on lap 28, and now with that, pretty much I believe that cycled through with the cars left running. The 16 cars left running have now all made their service and came down pit road. Maybe Nick DeGroot finally made a pit stop as well, maybe even serving a penalty because I thought he already pitted. So that might be an issue there, but that might have been his normal pit stop. He's checking on the timing and scoring here. So Pinero still holding on to the lead, now pulling away to 0.6 of a second over Tyler Fody. Vlaman still 3.5 seconds back in 3rd. And I think we still got a little bit of the train that we had going on here before the pit stops behind Isaac Morris, who's going to be in 4th, Adrian Marquez in 5th, and Matthew Weeks, wow, is in 6th. I think that one of the guys who lost a big chunk of time is going to be Chad Frankenfield. Again, one of those guys battling out for that 2nd place in points. I think he's sitting pretty good so far. I believe he's only a couple points out. We can see where the standings were coming into the night. I think Van de Sant not starting tonight. I don't think Benici started tonight as well. So two guys that kind of surrendered that fight for second spot. So it's going to be a race between him, Chad Frankenfield, and Victor Del Porto, who currently is scored in the 12th position. That's kind of what we're keeping an eye out on right now. And Del Porto's the only car 1 lap down. And Dempsey looked like he's coming back down pit road. So I don't know if he made contact with the wall or something. It seemed like he veered off pretty quickly. So maybe some issues there for the 03 machine. And it looks like he's going to retire his car for the night. So that might even play favorable to Victor Del Porto, who's now going to move into the 11th position. So only 4 positions separate Chad Frankenfield and Victor Del Porto. So every kind of car that drops out between those two is going to be a pretty big favorable move for that 27 machine. As your current leader right now still is Adrian Pinero, dominating this race so far. It's been the class of the field here for 135 laps, kind of only surrendering the lead through people staying out under caution and through through green flag pit stops. And well, Fody did pass him that one time. I checked that he did on that one stint. That was the only real time we've seen someone muscle by this 12 machine so far tonight. And he's going to see if he can keep this going. As now he's stretching that lead to almost 0.8 of a second over Tyler Fody. But I think usually Fody turns that switch on, or at least kind of closes that gap. I believe more towards the end of a stint, a tire run, fuel run. As I say that, he's closing that gap a little bit. It's kind of rubber banding between that 0.6, 0.8 of a second right now. And Matthew Weeks is trying to put some heat on the 62 of Isaac Morris, as Victor Del Porto is up there as well. Still showing he kind of got trapped down, a lap down, under our first set of green flag pit stops when the caution came out, when Yari got into Bennett. Trapped him a lap down. I think he does have some speed, as he's shown here. He's passing the guy that's running 5th. So if he can find a way to get his lap back, he might be able to get up there and fight for a solid run here. So this night's not totally over yet. There's still a long way to go. About 110 laps to go here of the GoFMX.com 500. Right now, Matthew Weeks trying to close that gap, but ever since Del Porto got around Isaac, he was able to stretch that lead ahead of Matthew just by a little bit here. And nothing quite doing as of right now. But speaking of closing gaps by just a little bit, Tyler Fody is able to close in to now about a half a second behind our leader, Adrian Pinero. The guy's doing a good job on this racetrack. It can be tricky. It can be tough here at the Worldwide Technologies Raceway. 3 and 4, usually not too bad of an issue. I know for me personally, I can handle that not too bad. It's more of when we go into turns 1 and 2, especially coming out, where the issues can happen. You see sometimes those rear ends of the cars just slip out a little bit from underneath you. Or maybe you push up into the wall. But for the most part, all these drivers doing a spectacular job getting around this this course here tonight. Again, this is a track too that as Mark was saying when he was still on the broadcast, he's going to be hosting the real life IndyCar Series here coming up, and I'm hoping NASCAR comes back here as well. Maybe we can get a cup date at some point. It's a very unique track, and in a time where, you know, I think a lot of these racing series are looking for more of a unique track. I think Gateway will provide that for you. The flat track with two very unique turns or ends of the racetrack. Tyler Fode pulling in within 0.2 of a second, taking a higher line, arcing it out, trying to get that run off. Looks like another time we've seen a car going off track here. Something didn't sound right there for a second. I'll say Billy Lyons, I know he's had some issues. But somebody having issues through turn 2. Not sure who that was who caused that smoke. But speaking of Matthew Weeks, earlier he did get around the 62 of Isaac Morris and now move him up into the 5th position. I believe that's a NASA livery there for the 11 of Matthew Weeks. It's kind of fun as he's going to try to chase down 4th place of Andrew Marquez, who's having a pretty good run here tonight as well. Chad Frankenfield, he's going to give Isaac Morris a threat to lose even one more spot as he's kind of closing up on the ground that he did lose on that last green flag pit stop. Just kind of looking, maybe see what the time he had on pit road. Yeah, I mean, for comparatively to a lot of these guys that were on, I mean, a second, almost a second and a half slower than most of these other drivers that were on pit road. So he's able to claw his way back up and to right around the position he was running right before the last round of green flag stops. But be sure to expect Frankenfield to try to hit his marks next pit stop and put himself in a better position so he doesn't lose that ground to Matthew Weeks and Isaac Morris that are currently running ahead of him. Again, you're listening or watching, not listening, I guess you're listening to me, the GoFMX.com 500 here on the Elite Racing Network. $150 laps in the books now. Current leader still Matthew Pinero, stretching that lead to almost a second now over over Tyler Fode. Usually this is kind of the point where Fode closed that gap. But so far Pinero able to stretch it out. Not that much help that I don't think he's going to get from, you know, someone helping him. Blauman kind of helped him on that last run. He's fallen all the way back to about 6.7 seconds back. So Pinero just showing just dominance here so far tonight. Can he close the deal and get it done? Things still kind of staying put here on the speedway. Chad Frankenfield, he's closing back up on that 62 of Isaac Morris, so he's going to try to move up another position. See if he can get it done here. Looks like he's going to take a look on the inside. Can't make it stick. Like to once again thank our sponsor here for tonight's race, FMX. FMX is a leading provider of facilities and maintenance management solutions that help organizations accelerate operational excellence. Their CMMS software enables you to streamline processes, increase asset productivity, and turn actionable insights into meaningful results. And you can check them out at gofmx.com. I think someone needs to help me streamline my computer so we can have Mark here in the booth with us. That's for sure. Hopefully we'll get this ironed out here for next time, but thought I had it all figured out. But when you think you do, you don't. Back up front, Fody closing in a little bit. Closing now within half a second. Now that Pinheiro is going to be battling through lap traffic. I believe he's going to be battling the 10 there of Richard Lyons as he's going to go 5 laps down. So after a pretty rough start, at least he's able to keep that car clean, able to stay on track. 5 laps down in 15th position. And McAdory is going to be, I believe, the next car ahead of him. Nope, that is not. That might be Musselman? No. The green car, that might be Troiano. No, I don't know what car that is. This car looked kind of unfamiliar to me so far here tonight. Might be Mandonia, and yes, that is the Mountain Dew car. It did not look that color of green. Maybe I need to get my eyes checked here as well. Mandonia, last car on the lead lap in 9th position. In danger of going a lap down here now as Tyler Fody is closing that gap once again as we're getting closer to green flag pit stops. This is when he makes his charge. And he's going to go try to get all the way on the inside, but I don't know if he's going to make it stick on the inside. They might not quite be able to drag race him down the backstretch. We had to let off a little bit more than I think he wanted to as he was there. To come down to lap 160 of 248. Tyler Fody is there knocking on the door once again. So if math serves me right, they need to probably make another 2 pit stops yet. And I'm thinking this might not play well into Fody's hands if he's waiting, or has to wait this long into a run. As if, again, math, for me, it's going to be about in the middle of a run when this race would get done on that second pit stop. Depends how many more laps they can run. I don't think they're going to be able to stretch it on just one more stop. As we do see Chad Frankenfield duck down pit road, see if he can get some better time made on pit road than he did last time out, but he will fall lap down. And so usually a lot of times when the caution comes out is when these green flag pit stop cycles are going on. That's why I never short pit, because that always happens. These leaders, especially Pinheiro, was one of the guys who stayed out the longest on that last run. So he should be able to stretch it out further than most. I think another guy, a guy currently running in 6th, Troiano, he was another guy to stretch it out pretty far. And Musselman as well, who is currently a spot 1 lap down. And Fody takes a look again for the lead as he's right there on the back wing of Pinheiro, going down into turn number 1. See if he can get a good run out of turn 2. And oh, it looks like Pinheiro just kind of concedes the position to him and put Tyler Fody back up front. The only guy that's kind of shown any type of threat to Pinheiro so far, and again, getting closer to pit stops, is when Tyler Fody makes his time to shine as he will lead that lap on lap 166 of 248. And now they'll put the 49 of Brendan Mandonia a lap down in that Mountain Dew car, or attempt to, as they're dragging racing down the front stretch. Drag racing, not dragon racing, sorry. That would be kind of cool though. And now Fody does get around, and they'll put a lap car between him and Pinero. Nope, that was the wrong screen I clicked. Sorry about that. Get that out of the way. My bad. As we are nearing green flag pit stops. And I almost covered that screen up. Hitting the wrong button. So a bunch of issues working out here tonight. Slow computer being the biggest one, but hopefully you're enjoying your time here watching the GoFMX.com 500 for the season finale of the Elite Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. And now Fody being able to just put a gap on Pinero over a second. And pulling away from even Blauman by almost 10 seconds. So right now, I mean, we have yet to see a lot of these guys on the lead lap make their pit stops. But 5 cars on the lead lap. I think we should be seeing these guys pit any moment now. See some cars getting their service on pit road. As it just seems on these end of these runs is when Tyler Fody's time to shine. Putting some pretty impressive laps, about 0.2 of a second faster on a longer run. So his drop off is not that bad from his best lap. He's losing maybe about a 1/4 second from his best lap and where he's at right now, where a guy like Pinero on a longer run, he's fallen off about over 0.3 of a second from his best lap, which was a 1/10 of a second faster than Tyler Fody's. So a little bit faster, but not too great on the long runs for Pinero, as he's now 1.7 seconds behind our current leader Tyler Fody. See some guys like Blauman just went down pit road last time by. Tyler Fody's going to be ducking down pit road here, surrendering that lead now back to Adriano Pinero, which I would expect to see him coming down pit road this next time by. Kind of an action he's been doing every green flag pit stop thus far in the race. Let's see if he will do it. Looks like this time he'll option to stay out one more time around. So Pinero staying at one more lap. Even putting Fody potentially another lap down here. Or one lap down, I should say. Yep. So right now, as things stand, 2 cars on the lead lap. That's your leader, Adrian Pinero, who's been dominating most of this race, but he's going to duck down pit road, get his service done. Let's see if Troiano, who's been stretching a lot of these runs to the max, see if he's going to stay out and lead a couple laps here as well. As he's the guy who's been stretching it out the longest so far here tonight. So I'm assuming roughly around 2:20 to 2:30, a lot of these guys are going to be making their final pit stop with just a handful of laps to go. See if this plays out. That one's hands. I don't think Troiano can make it on just one more stop. He's going to have to stretch it out quite a bit. Probably another 15 laps or so if he has any chance of making it, but he's currently scored your leader. Looks like Tyler Fode was able to hold off Pinheiro out of pit road. So you see the gap there. But this is where Pinheiro usually does have a little bit more speed over that 40 car, Tyler Fode. So we'll keep an eye out on that gap, as now our current leader, Eric Troiano, is going to duck down pit road and get his service done here on lap 177, coming to 178. And Mandonia, if he stays out, seen him go a lap down under green flag conditions, but right now staying out is your leader. So Mountain Dew car going to be about 5 seconds ahead of the leaders once we get around here. Back around to cycle it through a little bit, but yet he still has not made that green flag pit stop yet. Now it appears he's going to be coming down any moment now. And maybe right now is in fact when he's going to come down, and yes he will. So he'll surrender that lead after leading one lap, and that will put the lead back to Tyler Fode, who now has a pretty large gap over Pinheiro. So good time on and off pit road for that 40 car. Actually, well, both identical to Pinheiro, about 35 seconds on pit road, 35.1 for Pinheiro. I want to keep an eye on what Chad did this go around. He had a rough pit stop last time, and man, he shorted up quite a bit. He salvaged about a second and a half less on pit road, as you see him now currently scored in the 4th position. So after maybe a little bit of a mishap on pit road, the last green flag pit stop this last time, getting service for Chad Frankenfield, did improve quite a bit. Kind of a surprising turn of events for Tyler Fode, as he's now our leader and holding that 2.3 second lead. I'd expect Pinheiro kind of to close that gap a little bit. But see if he can close it in time to a point where Fode shows that more of that speed longer in the runs. See, last lap, Tyler Fode ran a 26.392. Maybe we can compare last laps there of Pinheiro and Fode, first and second place drivers. See, Pinheiro's just a little bit faster. That's going to be a long sail ahead if you maintain that. So Fode's run those pretty consistent, 26.397, 398. See what Pinheiro runs those 26.252. So Pinheiro's still showing excellent speed here on these short runs, but just didn't get on and off pit road quick enough, or just lost maybe enough time on those longer runs. So if caution were to come out, I think they'll play very greatly into Pinheiro's hands. And maybe wonder what Chad Frankenfield will do as well, but his pace has dropped off quite a bit, but of course he's been out there a lot longer than our current leaders, as Chad kind of short pitted this last time by, their last green flag pit stops. And thank you for watching the GoFMX.com 500 here on the Elite Racing Network. And don't forget, coming up this week is the Days Gone By Vintage Apparel Championship Week. And they'll start this Sunday for the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Trying to decide a champion for that. That'll be this Sunday, 9 p.m. right here on the Elite Racing Network. Trying to see where we're racing at. I maybe should know. Maybe should study up here. Not battling for a championship, so there's that. But Tyler Fode here tonight battling for a win, but that gap is closing up 1.7 seconds now between him and Pinheiro, and now lap traffic now for Fode. And the trucks will be at Iowa. Again, that's right here on the Elite Racing Network, 9 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. Keep forgetting they changed it. That's why I was late to race once. 8:30 p.m. right here on the Elite Racing Network for the Days Gone By Vintage Apparel Championship race from Iowa. They'll kick off the Days Gone By Championship week here for the Elite Racing Networks. A lot of champions to be decided, but again here for the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series, that championship battle has been decided already coming into tonight, as Henry Bennett did clinch that championship, as he did wreck out earlier in this race, as he is going to be scored 18th to finish off his 2021 B season. Now things starting to plateau here a little bit for the lead, as Fode just maintains that 26.5 second lapse. We're now Pinheiro is 26.7 seconds his last lap. We'll make another compare there. Let me close that up. Maybe Pinheiro picking up a little bit of speed, but now getting back to almost 2 seconds. Move Chad Frankenfield up into that third spot. He's moving up through the field pretty good here. As Blahman now a lap down. I don't know if he had any issues. Maybe a penalty, because he was the guy running in third for most of this race here tonight. Might be even short pitted there as well. No, I don't think he did. That's by the way he's going to fall through. But move Chad Frankenfield up to third. See if Troiano, seen him lead many laps so far here tonight by stretching out the field run. Not Pinheiro as many laps, or how many laps he led, but he's been the guy to stretch it out on field more than anybody else. Matthew Weeks trying to run down Andrew Marquez, as he's now down back into the 7th spot, so he might have had a little bit of a slower pit stop, and yeah, on the slower end, and that lost him a few spots on the racetrack, as he was battling for that top 5 position before the pit stops cycled through. So again, like Chad Frankenfield the last green flag run, he's going to try to work his way up back around some of these guys, but right now give that spot to that blue car there, the 87 of Andrew Marquez. Currently your leaders up front, Chad Fode holding about a 2-second lead over Adriano Pinheiro, as you see on the screen. Just a big gap between the two. See if we can get them both on screen. Nope, that's not going to do it. Chopper cam? Nope. There, maybe on the spotter stand, you can see the big gap between them. About a half a corner difference between the two. You've seen Fode coming out of turn 4 now, and now you see Pinheiro coming out of turn 2 as well. So you can see about what the gap is between first and second position. Again, thank you for tuning in here tonight. Season-ending race here at the Worldwide Technology Speedway. Been a really clean race here so far tonight, except a couple cautions, and one taking out our champion, Henry Bennett. he will finish 18th again here tonight. But he had it locked in coming into tonight, so no big sweat for him. As Mark said, probably taking a nap right now, or maybe celebrating that championship. Second in a row for Henry Bennett. How excited he was to win that championship. But as we hit lap 200 here, we got 48 laps to go here in the GoFMX.com 500 here at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more green flag actions, and if something happens, we'll get right back to you, but we'll catch you on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
And now just as we come back, the caution is out. We'll see what happened. Might have involved the 16 of Joe McAdory, and let's see if
Richmar Florist makes every day.
Hit the wrong button. See if we can find out what happened to bring this caution out on lap 202. I think we'll have it here. McAdory tries to let the car go by here. Tyler Fode right by him. Oh, looks like Fode makes some contact with the 16 car, sending him into the wall. And it appears that will end the night of the 16 car. And oh, he comes back down track. I believe everyone else is able to stay off of him. And that will end the night of Joe McAdory, who was now, so he scored in 17th place. Sorry, 15th place. 7 laps down, and he'll be I think the last car out of the race here. But Tyler Fode holding on to the lead as he's going to head down pit road. They should be able to make it the rest of the way on these pit stops. But again, fresh tires seems to be more of a blessing for the 12 car of Adrian Pinheiro. See who can win the race off pit road, as there are 6 cars on the lead lap. Wonder if guys like Del Porto, Mandonia, and Blauman, are they going to take a chance to stay ahead of these leaders? I don't think they'll get a wave around, but they'll be able to stay ahead of them and stay on the lead lap. It looks like Fode's off and running, and now Blauman is. So Fode's going to lead the race off pit road. He's going to hold on to the top spot. Put him into the lead. And I don't know if Frankenfield had danger. He might have been down pit road starting to make his green flag pit stops, as now he's right behind the leader. And yes, he did while we're under break. Frankenfield coming down pit road, so now he'll start right behind, or right ahead of Tyler Fode. On a little bit older tires. As we're going to be probably getting the green with right around, maybe a little over 40 laps to go. So everyone should be able to make it. But we'll see if Fode can hold off Pinheiro, who's been just a rocket ship on fresh tires. Fode coming alive more on the longer runs. But now it's kind of go or go home time for both these drivers, trying to pick up that win. Again, this is the season finale for the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. Fode looking to pick up his first win. Again, showing some speed. Maybe not always had the finishes he felt like he deserved, but he's always been in the mix of things at most everywhere we've gone in this Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. And again, for a guy that's quite unfamiliar with these IndyCars, the learning curve was relatively quick for Tyler Fode. But as you've probably seen here on the Elite Racing Network, that 40 car of Tyler Fode is usually fast in just about anything he hops into. And you can count him on potentially winning week in, week out. But right now, maybe the biggest threat to get him back, or get him into victory lane for the first time in an open wheel car, is that number 12 of Adriano Pinheiro. Let's see now that they close that gap too. Will guys like Andrew Marquez, Matthew Weeks, Isaac Morris, do they have anything to say? I'm going to be curious to see now that Victor Del Porto too is going to be on the lead lap. He, I believe, ran the second fastest lap of the race, so we know he does have speed. Again, getting trapped a lap down under our first set of green flag pit stops. And now as you hear my spotter pack tell you it's green flag, I'll tell you they're going to take that one more lap. Heat up those tires a little bit, because that's one thing iRacing doesn't quite have just yet. These IndyCars usually run a little bit faster on these pace laps so they can get the heat built up in these tires so they do have more grip. Because I believe it was the 1996 was it the US 500 at Michigan when they try to compete with the Indy 500. You might have starts like that more often than not. And forgive me if I have that name wrong. I'm not an IndyCar expert, but I remember that race just kind of being crazy. I believe it was a 96 too. I know it was at Michigan, that's all I know. But Tyler Fode here is going to restart in the lead. He's going to try to get a good jump as they are back now on the loud pedal, and Fode's going to pull away, but about 0.3 of a second lead. But don't look now, Pinheiro's going to be right there on the draft, and this is the time that Pinheiro shines. As I've stated, can he get back up there and contend for this win? And it looks like he will. He's going to take a look on the outside. He looked inside. He looked outside. Pinheiro is there putting the heat on Tyler Fode. Fode's going to have to learn here pretty quick how to make a good run here on the short run, as he's able to hold on to the lead for now. But Pinheiro's looking to, he's dancing around, looking to make some moves to get back up front. Now with that, Tyler Fode leading the charge here by just a little bit. It'd be interesting to compare. Oh, maybe on the inside. Now Isaac, I thought maybe was going to take a look. We'll see the lap times here. As Fode was, that was Fode's fastest lap of this race. So Fode turning up the wick here, which he needed to do. Ran his fastest lap of this race, and now that will be the second fastest lap that it's ran all day. Only second to Pinheiro, who's running behind him, but it looks like Pinheiro is trying to drive really hard to stay with him. Fode's still hanging on to those 26.1s. So now will this be a role reversal? Will Pinheiro be able to catch Tyler Fode on this longer run, as by the time we get close to the checkered flag, it'll be pretty close to the time these tanks will be pretty close to empty. Maybe about a quarter tank left for these Indy cars. And now running pretty similar laps, but Fode putting on some awesome laps here together. And running his fastest lap really late in the going here, about 2 laps ago. Let's see what these boys turn on this time by. Tyler Fode hits the line, and he's going to hit a 26 point, so he slows down to 10th. And about 2/10 maybe there for maybe 1/10.5. Slow down for Adrian Pinheiro. So right now it looks like maybe Foti learned something following Pinheiro for much of this race. This is the second time he's muscled by Pinheiro. He's able to hang on and keep this lead. Even now seeing a little bit of pressure with that 62 car of Isaac Morris. Looks like again, it's maybe a car that got a little smoky down there, down below. Right now, Eric Troiano trying to catch the guy who's battling for a second spot in the points, but he's battling Chad Frankenfield. Del Porto, I think, right now would have it, but he still wants to finish ahead of Chad Frankenfield, one of the guys battling for that second spot. That's here tonight is Benici and Van de Sant not showing up here tonight, surrendering the second place position to one of these guys. And it looks like Del Porto is in prime position right now to get it. We'll throw up the points just one more time here late in the going here. It's Frankenfield and Pinheiro too. In sixth position, he is roughly 20-some points out, 19 points out. So if he can close that gap, maybe with a win. And now Del Porto and Frankenfield still battling for that position. This is probably one of the better battles on track right now, as just a note, closing back in within a half a second is Pinheiro on Tyler Foti. So the battle for second is alive here, people. As now Del Porto kind of loses a little bit of ground coming out of turn two. He'll have to regroup and see if he can catch back up to Chad Frankenfield and even see if he can fight off Eric Troiano, who's led a few laps in this race, again, staying out on those long runs in that 14 machine. Back up front, though. Don't look now. Pinheiro looking to get his third win of the season. Four-tenths of a second with roughly 29 laps to go. This is again where Foti is running lap times. We'll pull up the times here one more time for these two. Just a little bit quicker, Pinheiro, then Foti. Let's see what they are this time by. Give Foti the slight advantage, so able to do just enough to stay ahead of Pinheiro right now. But we see another smoke coming out of the corner. Coming down. It's a heavy smoke yet coming out of the corner. So someone's having some issues coming out of turn two, which is, again, Calamity Corner. Again, we were down to about 5 cars on the lead lap. Currently do now have 11 after that caution, with some guys staying out trying to get some laps back. Last car on the lead lap in 11th is Brandon Mandonia, who is 21 seconds behind our leader. So getting pretty close to the point where they might catch him before this race is complete. So lap traffic might come into play here. And currently right now, again, only 14 cars on the racetrack. Richard Lyons showing, you know, the grit. One thing I know I do for my team, we might not always have the fastest cars every week, but sticking with it, learning every week, learning the tracks, fighting through, even if it's not your night, be able to salvage a decent run. And Richard Lyons, who was probably all the way back into one of the later cars that were started this race, you know, roughly gained about 10 spots from hanging in there. It's a solid night for Richard Lyons, even though he is 7 laps down. That lead for Fody has kind of plateaued between the two, as they're roughly running similar lap times between them. You know, one lap Pinero might be faster, the next lap Fody might be faster, but now as they say that, again, Fody opens up that gap just a little bit, and then it closes again. As that time, Pinero did run a faster lap than Fody, as we are nearing 20 laps to go here in the GoFMX.com 500. And oh, right in front of the leaders, that might have been Billy Lyons getting into the wall, as he's got an injured wing again. Let's see if he can get down on pit road. He does, right in front of Frankenfield, as he's trying to limp off pit road. So his night might be over now. Might have just gave him the announcer's jinx there. If you're watching or going to be watching this, Richard, I apologize. I might have just jinxed you there. But like the effort, that's some grit. I like it. Able to stay clean and for most of the race. And I'm sure his car was not handling 100% too, after some of the incidents he got into earlier on in the night. But your top 5, with now 20 laps to go, coming to 19, it's going to be Tyler Fody, Adriano Pinero, Isaac Morris, Andrew Marquez, and Matthew Weeks running in 5th. Right now, I think one of the closer battles here is going to be for the 6th spot, as Chad Frankenfield is now trying to hold off Troiano, as he did get around Victor Del Porto, as we were watching that battle not too long ago. And he's right in the airstream of Chad Frankenfield, carrying him around this track here a little bit. So we're nearing the end of this race, and now this is where Tyler Fody's maintaining those 26.5-second laps. And a lot of the guys in the field are running around 26.6, 26.7. So this is where Fody's kind of shined all race long, is a little bit later in these runs. So he was able to hold off Pinero and get to this point in long run. Oh! Frankenfield in the wall. Troiano makes contact. I believe there's going to stay green, but Chad Frankenfield's hunt for second place goes up in smoke there against the turn 2 wall, as Troiano just tried digging a little too hard, making that contact with the 15, and that's going to be an early night for Chad Frankenfield, as I believe that's going to be heavy suspension damage for him as he dives down pit road. Kind of doing the drive of shame here on pit road with a beat-up race car. And let's see if he can get that car back out there and fix, but I think once he hits pit road, he's going to be done for the night. And crazy turn of events for Chad Frankenfield, trying to do his last couple swings here for second place in points, but that was nothing of his doing. And I believe he's going to get the exit here pretty quick. So back up front, Tyler Fody leading this race by 0.7 of a second over Adriano Pinero. Now they're running about similar lap times, but Pinero's not able to close that gap. on Tyler Fode. And talk about grit. I think, look at this. Richard Lyons still out there. He might have hit the wall again, but I'm still loving that grit, man. Loving it. Even though it might be frustrating. I know I've been there. Now 0.8 of a second lead for Tyler Fode. Holding that gap as we're nearing 10 laps to go. And Troiano, who made that contact with Chad Frankenfield, inherits that 6th position. That more than likely puts this man, 27 car of Victor Del Porto, into the 2nd place in the final point standings. And again, that's right where he finished in this series last year. And I'm sure his goal coming into this season was to win a championship, but knowing you're able to match your results from last season after a strong run in the 2020 B season and starting off good in the 2nd place run of the 2021 A season, that, hey man, next stop to go is up. One more spot. Let's do it. As we hit 10 laps to go here in the GoFMX.com 500 for the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. I gotta wonder how much more excited Mega Driver would be if Haley Deegan was out here in one of these Indy cars. I think he'd be pretty pumped up. I had to say that, Mega. Had to do it. So Chad Frankenfield still on pit road. His night appears to be done after making heavy contact with the wall. But right now, as we hit the line here with 8 laps to go, all Tyler Fode has to do is hit his marks, be smooth, hold that pretty wheel. And it looks like he'll be able to get his first victory of the season and of his career here in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. Again, long overdue. I think he's shown speed in many races so far this season that prove that he could win races. Wasn't able to put it together until tonight. He can potentially do that if he hangs on for 7 more laps. Just not quite able to close the gap. It's Adriano Pinheiro. Closing in on the end of this race. Again, shout out here too to 3rd place runner right now. Isaac Morris. I believe he started a little bit further back in the grid. Thought I was going to be able to pull that up, but wasn't able to do so. So, 12 cars currently left on track. I believe Lyons and Frankenfield are both parked, but coming down, 4 laps to go. Tyler Fode, all he needs to do, hit his marks. And that day's gone by. I think a very fitting sponsor to win it. I swear it's not rigged, guys. But we're heading in a very fitting sponsor to win this race if he's able to hold on. Days gone by as they came on to sponsor championship week here for the Elite Racing Leagues. Always some cool stuff on that website. Check it out. I've bought plenty of stuff there. 2 to go. the battle of the line might be behind him as Billy Lyons is coming back on a track, so he doesn't want a DNF for this race. He's going to limp around for the last couple laps here, hopefully stay out of the leader's way. And oh, it looks like he spun out again, but not bringing out a caution, so his night might end a little bit rough there. But the final lap here for Tyler Fode. He had to sit behind Adriano Pinero for most of this race. He's been waiting all season long after showing the speed. But tonight it looks like he's going to put it all together and win race number 1 of his career for him in the Mega Driver 86 series. Here comes Tyler Fode as he comes across the line. He's your winner of the GoFMX.com 500 here at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. Adriano Pinero will come home in second. Isaac Morris in third. Looks like Eric Troiano is going to come home in fourth. Matthew Weeks in fifth. And Andrew Marquez, Victor Del Porto, AJ Musselman will round out the cars that finished on the lead lap. Brian Blauman in ninth, 1 lap down. And so was the car in the 10th position. Brendan Badanio. Man, I'm just messing up here. See, the fireworks are going off here on the virtual Worldwide Technology Raceway, and they're all for Tyler Fode as he's going to take the checkered flag. He's going to burn him down here, I believe, as he hits the start-finish line. You see the podium finishers there in Pinero and Isaac Morris, as they're going to watch Tyler Fode burn some rubber as he's going to take the checkered flag here tonight. Once again in the GoFMX.com 500. So congratulations to Tyler Fode. And we'll check the race results. And that is not the right page. There you see Tyler Fode is was your winner. We kind of went through the top 10. Going through the rest of the field. Nick DeGroot came home in 11th. Richard Lyons did hold on to that 14th spot. Chad Frankenfield in 13th after hitting the wall late. A lot of guys getting in incidents early on in the race. And I believe the 23 cars took the field. Our sponsor there, Ethan Reisner Mega Driver 86, rounds out the field. And now taking that Polish victory lap is going to be the 40 of Tyler Fode. So he's celebrating. He's happy. Got that first win. And now we'll do some interviews here. We got our third place finisher, Isaac Morris, that came home in third spot. And Isaac, looks like maybe you had something for second on one of the restarts, but wasn't quite in the cards here tonight. But pretty eventful evening for you, wouldn't you say? Isaac, you got a copy?
Sorry.
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It was coming through on my monitor instead of my headset. So,
Oh, okay.
I can hear you just fine now.
Okay. So, came home in third place. You're battling, mostly in the top 5 all night, able to work your way up to third spot. Did you think you had anything for the top 2 tonight?
I wouldn't say like I was on pace for the top 3 at all tonight. Like I started 9th. I literally got a message from Chad this morning being like, hey, do you want to race tonight? And I was just like, yeah, sure, why not? It'd be a fun race. Didn't realize there's 248 laps. It was fun. Got into some great battles with some guys, but I definitely didn't have the pace to be in the top 3 tonight. I was expecting maybe a top 10. But yeah, those 2 out in front were just incredible pace, and I had absolutely nothing for them tonight on the restart. So I just sat back, chilled out, and just ran my own race at the end.
Yeah, and everything kind of coming to you with an awesome finish. And I might be speaking too soon. This is your first race in the Elite Racing League's the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so solid run, so awesome for rookie driver. Are we expect you maybe come back next season, try to improve on that third place position?
Yeah, I've spoken to Chad. I'm interested in running the Indy Series next season, so hopefully I'll be racing at the end of August.
Well, it sounds good. We're looking forward to it for sure. But with that, I'll leave the floor to you if you have any shout-outs you want to give. And, yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't actually. I was literally just running this just for some fun tonight. It wasn't on a team basis or anything. It was just for some fun. So I guess a shout out to you guys for broadcasting it. A shout out to Chad for inviting me along tonight. And yeah, it was a really good experience. I'm pretty sure like not everyone who would normally run the full season was here tonight. So obviously, like the strength of the field might have been a little bit lower than usual, but it was still a great experience to drive against all these guys tonight, and especially some of the guys like AJ Musselman, Henry Bennett, like some of the big names in the IndyCars. So it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, it was awesome. Awesome to have you. Great run tonight. And, yeah, hopefully we'll see you next season here in the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Series.
Hey, thank you very much. I hope you have a great evening and a great weekend.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you.
That was Isaac Morris finishing in the third position. We do not have Adriano Pinero, who finished in second, but we do have the man of the night, the winner. Maybe not the man, because I believe maybe Henry Bennett's the man winning the championship, but I'll say the other man of the night, that's the 40 car of Tyler Fode. And Tyler, it looked like for a while for the first half of that race, you didn't have anything for that 12 car, but it seemed like every time on the longer runs you were able to close in, and he was maybe a little quicker than you on the shorter runs. Did you think you were going to have anything for him by the time this race got done?
Oh man, I was thinking it all race long. Every one of these 200 however many, way too many laps we did tonight. But, it's something else, dude. I mean, I knew we had at least the second fastest car on the short runs. And then it was like the second half of those runs, I could hang right with him. Even in the dirty air, I could sit right there. And all I needed was one little slip up or one good move to get in front of him. And after I was in front of him, I knew he couldn't hang with me on the old tires at least. And yeah, pit stops and cautions and back and forth. And I got him one time early on, and he got me back. And we were running out of laps there, but I was happy to be in front of him come the last cycle there in that last run. So super happy, and yeah, exhausted.
Yeah, it was a long, grueling race here tonight at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and yeah, it was impressive to watch the I guess lack of a drop off that you had all night long compared to most other cars in the field. And again, Mark and I were talking when Mark was still with us. Unfortunately, technical issues dropped him out. But you're relatively new to the IndyCar scene here. This is your first season running in the Elite IndyCar Series. So, was there a secret you had, or is it just kind of come naturally to you?
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing out here. I mean, first half of the season, at least, it was something else. I had never driven these things, and I think we started with like 4 DNFs in the first 5 races. So that was pretty awesome. But as the season went on, I mean, the road courses, I still sucked a lot. I mean, just terrible. But the last couple ovals we did, Milwaukee, which was like race, 6 or 7, I was running third and got taken out, unfortunately. But then we did Phoenix, and I led that whole race. I mean, and Chad got me on a late restart, which I still haven't lived down yet. But the second half of this season, I mean, the ovals at least, I was really starting to find a groove. And then I feel like it all just came together tonight to top it all off. So next season, hopefully we can be a little more consistent with the lack of DNFs and maybe find some speed on the road courses.
Yeah, how does it feel? I mean, you're no stranger to Victory Lane. especially here in the elite racing leagues. But how does it feel to get into victory lane in a new car and one that you aren't experienced in?
Just incredible. I did not think I could be even competitive with some of these guys. I mean, Henry Bennett, for one, is on a whole nother level. And he didn't really show tonight because he had already wrapped it up by however many points, 100 something last week. But I mean, between him and Adriano, who's been super quick on the ovals, just to be able to beat him tonight is something else. And I mean, even earlier in the week, ran modifieds for the first time and won that. So I don't know. Just gotten pretty lucky here and have been pretty fortunate with how these things have played out.
But you know what they call that, Fody? That's raw talent right there.
You said so.
All right, but with that, congratulations, and I'll give the floor to you if you have any shout-outs you want to give.
Yeah, I got to thank Brian Blauman first and foremost here. He ran with me all season long and knew a lot more about these cars than I did. And I mean, every race was setting up the strategies, the pits, the fuel, everything that we were going to go through. Just really all around a huge help this whole season. And unfortunate tonight, I mean, he was going to be third pretty much no matter what, and got caught with I think he crossed over the line on exit. But huge thanks to him all season long. Also, Days Gone By for being the primary sponsor here. Glad to finally put them in an IndyCar victory lane. And Blue Egg Marketing, of course, for being on board. I got to thank Mark and Rish also for being the commentators for the most part of this season, and also you tonight for sitting around for however long this thing was. And got to thank Chad for putting on the Indy Series here. And yeah, we'll try and come back and maybe grab a couple more next season.
Yeah, it sounds good, and yeah, hopefully next season you can get that consistency going and maybe battle for a championship. But we'll see. But again, congratulations tonight, Tyler, and go celebrate, man.
Thanks, man.
Again, that was Tyler Fody coming away with his first victory, and actually totally forgetting he got his first victory in the Elite Modified Series on Tuesday night. So again, hopping in to different cars, getting into victory lane. So cool thing to see here tonight in the season finale. And with that too, I'd like to congratulate Henry Bennett once again for becoming the champion after last couple weeks ago event. And then he's going to be our back-to-back champion, still holding on to that crown. So with that, I'd like to thank GoFMX.com for sponsoring tonight's event. And yeah, and until next time, Mega Driver for sponsoring the series. Again, we're still working on getting Haley Deegan out here for him. But with that, I'd also like to thank Chad from the Elite Racing Leagues and putting on this show here tonight and us able to put on this broadcast here, and for all our sponsors. Richmar Floors, C2 Freight. They're a big help to this network getting kicked off as well. But until next time, I'm Mike Goodman. Thank you all for listening, watching tonight's GoFMX.com 500 from Worldwide Technology Speedway. And once again, congratulations to Henry Bennett for winning the championship and Tyler Fody for winning tonight's race. Until next time, have a good night.